Have you ever had a terrible work experience? Well, boy, let me tell you, I've had one of the worst work experiences of my life. This was back in like 2023 in March or maybe April in Hope Bay, Nunavut. There's a underground mine. We're diamond drilling under there, looking for core samples. Getting the core samples, looking for mineral. So one of the shifts, we're driving down in the open cab Kubota. It's like 40 below, going to the underground. We're getting up. We get to the portal to go underground, and we see three deer just poke their head up and just, or no, wait, they weren't deer. They're fucking reindeer or some shit. Yeah, or caribou. And then they just poke their head up and they like just like book it. And then there's one that just comes ripping out of the portal. And we're like, what in the fuck? Why are they going under there? Well, it might be warmer, but anyway, I think they're caribou or reindeer. And but that's not even the crazy story. So we're going down, we get to the drill. And then Buddy tries to drill a run for like 15 minutes or whatever, right? And then this is like it's like 7:45, maybe 8 o'clock, and he's like, oh, we're pulling the bit. So then we pull the rods out, get the core barrel in the foot clamp, and then okay, well, I'll go back a bit. So it's roughly 630 meters of NQ pipe. So they weigh 52 pounds for every rod. So it's 52 pounds for one of them. And for 630 meters, that would mean that there's 210 of them. So times 52. So that's how many rods we pulled out, right? Get the picture? So that's around 11,000 pounds. We get the rods out. I'm just looking at the core barrel with the wrench over my shoulder, waiting for him to pull the barrel up so we can change the bit, right? And then all I see is just the core barrel just drop, just woof, go right down to the bottom. And I just look at him just like with a pissed off face. And like most guys would want to quit and just punch the guy out. And he just walks over with his hands up. And he's like, oh, what happened? What happened? Where's the core barrel? And I'm just like, I just look at him with kind of a pissed off face. And I'm like, well, I guess we got to go back down to bottom and get the barrel. So then he's like, well, yeah, and walks back all pissed off. And then by the time he gets back, I'm waiting there with waiting on the deck with the rod up there. And it's like there's like levels to it. Like there's like the platform where the rods are sitting on, and then the drill is like up here, right? So there's like a stair here, and then like another stair here, and then you stand on this one to basically get up to the head of the drill, because it's underground, right? So it's like, yeah, picture it like this, like a wooden stair, right? Walk down, and then like this, and then the rods and everything, this is the baseline floor, right? That's the baseline floor. And then this is like, you got like two steps basically, is what I'm trying to say. And then yeah, so I'm waiting up there with the rod, and then go back down. We got to put the whole rod string back down to bottom. It's the 630 meters, 210 pieces of NQ pipe, get it down to bottom. We get the core barrel hooked up to the rod string, and then we start pulling pipe out again, because we got to change the bit, right? So pull the rods out, the 210 pieces of pipe again, pull them up, change the drill bit, put the 210 pieces down again, and then that's like 11:45, maybe midnight by that time. And so that was about from 8 o'clock to like 11 something. So that's, wait, how many hours is that? 3 and 4, maybe 4 hours, maybe. And then midnight till then the supervisor gets down, and then he's like, oh, you guys had to change, did you guys have to change the bit? Because he didn't even know, because he's pumping water, we're ready to drill the run basically. And then the supervisor comes down, And he's like, oh, did you guys end up having to change the bit? And then we were just like, yeah, change the bit. And he didn't even know that we had to go back down. We basically did it twice, right? And so that ended up being like 43,000 pounds of pipe, like in and out, just, you know. So that's a lot. And like by hand, right? Like, because we're underground, and changing the bit by hand. And it was one of the well, it was one of the worst times and one of the best times, because like I've actually had other rod pulls. There's like two other times I can think of where it was like that, and it was with like, basically the other time it happened with the supervisor. He gets on the controls because the driller went home, and then like a day the driller went home like a couple days early, so it's just me and the foreman. The foreman gets on the controls, and then we got to pull the rods out of the hole. And it's something that should have taken like, I don't know, an hour or two, ends up taking us over 8 hours, because we had to do that 4 times. Like, we pull the rods, right? And I'm not just stacking them like in a stand, like where it's underground. I'm like putting them down and dropping them down in the rod sloop. So then oh, drops the core barrel. So then like gotta pull out the rods out of the rod sloop. The HQ, that was HQ too. So it's like, get the HQ rods back down there to get the barrel, and then put them back, and then you gotta pick them out of the sloop again. We gotta go get the barrel again. Like, fuck, man. Like, he dropped the rods 4 times when we're trying to break out. It took 8 hours, and it was like 330 meters of HQ, and it took like 8 hours to pull it out, because it's like, man, you got going back down like so many times trying to get the fucking rod string again. Holy fuck, man. Like, smoke another doobie, and that might have been the problem. Like, he gave me weed for free, and we're like just smoking 10 joints a day when the one driller leaves, because he's trying to get me to like him or some shit. And I'm like, all I'm thinking is like, man, I don't give a fuck about smoking weed at work. Like, I'd rather us not have to pull the rods so many times and actually get shit done, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of one of those things out of your control. I got so off topic about so that job with the supervisor, the HQ job with the supervisor, that was up in the Yukon. It was like 2 hours north of Whitehorse. And then the other one, the first one I talked about, that was in Hope Bay, Nunavut. But yeah, so after the supervisor at Hope Bay, after he asked us if we changed the bit, we're just like, yeah, we changed the bit, and we're just ready to drill another run. And then he went to the other drill, and we, by 12 till it was midnight until 7 or whatever, or midnight till 6, we had drilled 30 meters. So it was like, lost a lot of energy. We lost a lot of energy and fucked around because we had to pull the rods twice, and it was just a pain in the ass. But like, it was a productive shift. Just one of those things. It happens. And but yeah, let me know in the comments some of your crazy work experiences, or like the worst experience you've had at work. Let me know about that. That would be funny to listen to about. So see you in the next one.